I used to record a lot of videos on here, and I haven't in years. There's a couple reasons why I don't want to speak of, regardless of the reasons I haven't done it. Today I feel a need. I've been using the drug of distraction lately. I've been extremely busy to the point where it grounds you. It definitely does. And maybe you can relate. I've got people in my little tribe that have similar symptoms, but when you're forced in a high pressure, high stress situation, people like me do really well. And it's very bizarre, but it is what it is. And you find yourself sort of wanting that. You need that high intensity push to have to go do something. I've always needed. I like to explore, but I don't like to just hike. There's like an abandoned house or something neat that I'm looking for. I gotta have that in my mind. It's gotta be an objective. A lot of times that objective is, I don't really know what makes me happy, and a lot of times that objective is money. And lately I've been doing a side hustle that requires me to be constantly on the go, and that has caused me to be able to function in ways I haven't before. But at the same time, it's just not conducive to long term. So I hit a rough patch with my medications, possibly. Lamictal, I've been on for years, and at one point I had switched to the generic, from generic to brand name, and because I was starting to regress, and I realized that the pharmacy had switched me to a different generic. And then you go online and everyone's like, oh yeah, Accord versus Tiva or whatever, so I fell into that whole little rut of wondering what meds, in the generic was different or whatever. So I just jumped on the other one, which is very expensive. And I've just recently went back to generic because I can't afford. I'm like, why am I spending this much money? And I think that I've been in a place where I was better enough to be like, okay, yeah, I can make that switch. Anyways, I made that switch at the same time as the season's changing. And I think it's every year, but it's like really cold mornings, warm afternoons. It's getting dark really early. It's insane how dark it gets. And then we've got this stupid daylight savings crap, daylight losing on the inner side, and it ends up getting dark like 4:30. It's just not healthy. But anyways, I feel like and I was wondering if you guys feel this too, of just emptiness. It's almost like I was driving today, because I had really bad anxiety last night, and I think I know why, or maybe what triggered it. And I hadn't had that in a long time, but I had like adrenaline just flooding me on the left side of my body. And I drink decaf. I think that I take a very small dose of methylphenidate, but I think that the barista didn't make it decaf or something. I don't know, but it was pretty bad. But today and that causes me to go into this irritable, almost manic phase where I just feel like a blur. And then I was just doing stuff, but I felt like like on speed or something. Like I've never done that stuff before, but I felt really bad. So, that scares me, and I go into a state of fear. But I digress. This morning, I just seasonal affective disorder. I think this affects a lot of people, but I'm already on like the fringe of not of feeling well versus unwell, and that fringe keeps me going because looking for um, a life. But as I'm driving and it's kind of clear out, cool morning, I have this in my head. I remember what it felt like to be normal. I remember what it felt like to feel peace, and I've had it fleetingly. So I've had that fleeting peace. you know, Welcome. Good morning. And it's sort of like just disappeared. And but anyway, you probably joined for seasonal affective disorder. That's what I titled this. I just feel like today I was driving, and it's like the sound went out. It was like just everything was quiet. I was like, hey, this is a bad thing. But it felt like the whole world, like the volume was turned down. It's clear. And visually I feel clear, but I feel very like internalized and I guess for lack of a better word, depressed. I feel melancholic. I feel kind of lost. Kind of like I know where I'm going, but I don't know where I'm going. I know what I'm doing, but I don't know why, and I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I'm having dreams that I don't want to have lately. That's before the season changed, but I'm getting older and I'm starting to realize that too. And but yeah, this it sucks. Like not getting that sunlight and then feeling like it's bedtime at 6 o'clock. It just really it does something to the chemicals in the brain. You just have to know that it's something that, and especially with someone with an adjustment disorder, changing up too many things. I can be in this rut and then get a call or an email that is something that is to the good, and that can catapult me into a very short um, revival. I've got this trip. It's only a one-dayer with the kids to an indoor water park, and I find myself scared to go. So I have that, which is always sort of the case, but I just feel empty. So I go through a lot of different things. I suffer with a lot of different illnesses, but this comes and goes, and I felt it before. I remember quite a bit. But I just want to feel okay. I want to feel normal. I just want to feel clear. But I feel empty. Completely like empty. Like kind of tired. But that's not the problem. It's just like everything is quiet. Almost like a dream. Like, it's sort of like a dream state. Like everyone just disappeared. And the feeling just it's lonely, it's isolating, it's hard to explain. I try to talk to my partner, but I can't handle, and that's one thing I've been going through for a long time, is like it's weird, and I know it's hard to explain to anybody, but I just can't handle questions and like a barrage of stuff. When I say I'm doing something or feeling a certain way, it's like, well, why don't you try this? Why don't you do this? And then all of a sudden, like I start to feel angry and irritable, and like I just need to get out of there. I need to sort of just like kind of vent, explain what I'm going through, and then kind of just move on. I just don't mentally have the aptitude to function in certain ways that are needed to sustain healthy relationships. And I've admitted that. And I've told her that. And that's why my ex cheated and left me. But I have a lot of positive parts of me, and there are times where I feel great mood, and I do good things, and I take advantage of those times. But the seasonal affective crap, just for someone who's just suffering with just that, it's bad enough. But with someone that's already suffering with multiple mental health disorders, it's just sort of like it cuts through the progress, and it really starts to mess with your head. Like, what am I doing wrong? But just know that it's temporary. I'll adjust to these short days, and I'll get through it. And I'm tired of getting through it. I know you're tired of getting through it, but you get through it. Eventually, you get all the way through it, and we'll be better. But I've had really good days for me, and it's that's what's worth it getting up for. I've got up in a good mood, and I've got up, had good mornings, and been motivated. And I mean, I don't feel any of that today or lately, but it's an awful affliction, and we just have to keep battling. It's a war, we win battles, but it might be a war our whole lives. We have to just appreciate the good times that we have. Don't take the worst for granted, and just hold on, man. When the storm gets going again, you just gotta hold on, put down the sails, and ride out the storm. God bless you guys. Please subscribe. I'm building a platform, believe it or not, that's going to really help people with mental health issues, and it's called Years Heart. You can go to the site yearsheart.org, and anyway, yeah, hit me up, man. Like, leave a comment. I ain't been around in a while, but I'm trying to get back into the scene and talk about it. All right.